Let's move on now to the first email today. And the first email today comes to us from Danny Ford, who writes, saw two movies this weekend, Ralph 2 and Creed 2. Loved them both. No surprise they came in number 1 and number 2 at the box office this weekend. But I was surprised they didn't make as much as I thought they would. Do you think the studios are disappointed with the results despite being number 1 and number 2? All right, thanks a lot for the email, Danny. And yes, a couple of big films came out this weekend. We had Wreck-It Ralph 2. Yes, we had Creed 2. Yes, we had Robin Hood. Wah, wah. Anyway, let's take a look at the results. The box office results have come in for this week. Obviously, coming in at number 1, as predicted, right on the tracking number. It was tracking at 55. Ralph Breaks the Internet comes in at number 1 at $55.6 million. Creed 2 was tracking around 35. It came in right there at about $35.2 million. Dr. Seuss's The Grinch took a very small dip. Very small dip, very impressive for it. It made another $30 million. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald comes in at number 4, making another $29 million. Bohemian Rhapsody makes another 13.8. And notice you don't even see Robin Hood on the list there. Robin Hood made $9 million in its opening weekend, by the way. There aren't the words in the English language to describe how big of a flop this is. Because the budget on this movie exceeded the $100 million range, comes out, makes $9 million, doesn't even crack the top 5 in its opening weekend box office. But that's pretty much what we all kind of guessed and what we all anticipated and what we all predicted. But Ralph and Creed come in number 1 and number 2. But okay, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2 makes $55 million. Okay, number 1, but is that a number that the studios are happy with, or should they be concerned? Creed 2, $35 million, but number 2, that's great, only behind Wreck-It Ralph, no shame in that, but is $35 million disappointing? Is that going to be kind of considered a letdown by the studios? Well, here's the thing. We live in this era right now where we think every movie that opens has to make $80 million to be considered a hit or to be successful. And that is simply not the case. Movies do not need to come out today and make $80 million, make $100 million. There are some movies that have more modest budgets, or some movies that are designed to make money over the long haul, right? Are the studios disappointed with Wreck-It Ralph's performance? Are they just disappointed with Creed 2? Well, I don't think so. Because let's look at this comparison of both Wreck-It Ralph and Creed and how they compare to the opening weekends of Wreck-It Ralph's first movie and Creed's first movie. Take a look at this. The first Wreck-It Ralph movie opened to $49 million. It went on to be a hit and to be very profitable for the company, and they were very happy with it. Wreck-It Ralph 2 actually makes over a 10% gain on that. It makes $55 million. So it exceeded the first film. The first Creed, as much as everybody loves it, the first Creed film made $29 million. It takes almost a 15% jump into Creed 2 that makes 35. It's a marked improvement over the previous one. So when films like Wreck-It Ralph or Creed come out, we need not to compare them to how does a Star Wars movie open or how does a DC or a Marvel film open. No, you got to look at it in their own context. And in Wreck-It Ralph's context, it made like $6 million more in its opening weekend than the first film did. With Creed, it made like another $6 million, which is almost a 15% drop, or climb, I should say, from its first one. Are the studios disappointed in this? No. Again, these totals came in right around where they were tracking to. It's what they were expecting. It's what they were hoping for. And they are both, most importantly, improvements over the previous installment. We always talk about the word trajectory. That's what the studios want to see. They want to see an upward trajectory. With Wreck-It Ralph and Creed 2, they got both of those. And on that level, it's going to keep them all very, very happy. So yeah, no problems there with that. All right, let's move on now to the second email of the